From the very beginning, this woman orchestrated leaving the royal family because all she's ever wanted in her life was to be an A-lister in Hollywood. She did not have the talent to become an A-lister in Hollywood. She was relegated to a D-list actress spot on a show called Suits.
January 2026 blew up online with a shock nobody expected. Out of nowhere, a brand new wave of yacht photos surfaced, showing Meghan Markle in private circles she probably thought were long gone. This wasn't some recycled gossip or blurry screenshots from the past. These were crisp, never-before-seen photos that lit up every corner of social media within hours. The internet went wild. Hashtags, debates, theories, it all came flooding in. People couldn't believe what they were seeing. What made the situation explode even more was what the pictures seemed to suggest. They didn't just show a random moment, they hinted at a side of Meghan most have never seen before. And that's when the big question hit. Where does she go from here? What happens next after something like this? You can feel why so many believe her marriage has faced some seriously tense moments after all this. The photos appeared to capture Meghan in ultra-exclusive high-security settings she's never talked about publicly. Almost instantly, chatter from people linked to Middle Eastern high society started spreading fast. They're saying the photos line up with what insiders have quietly known for years.
That you wanted to go back to LA and that Canada was always going to be a pit stop. From the very beginning, this woman orchestrated leaving the royal family because all she's ever wanted in her life was to be an A-lister in Hollywood. She did not have the talent to become an A-lister in Hollywood. She was relegated to a D-list actress spot on a show called Suits that nobody in America had seen, but apparently
that Meghan had early connections in circles where power, money, and status rule everything. According to several people said to have ties with elite Gulf region networks, Meghan wasn't just casually showing up to random gatherings or social events. Every move seemed intentional, strategic, and calculated to build influence. Instead of just drifting around glamorous cities, she was strategically building connections in Monaco, along the French Riviera, and across the Mediterranean. Sources claim she was moving in circles where real influence and serious wealth run the game. These weren't just fancy getaways, they were private invite-only gatherings on luxury yachts and behind the gates of exclusive estates. The newly leaked photos reportedly show Meghan surrounded by high-profile figures from Saudi Arabia and other powerful nations. And the message many are getting is loud and clear. This didn't happen by chance. From the start, she had her eyes set on heading back to Los Angeles, with Canada always being just a brief stop along the way.
There have been lots of scandals which have never come out, I'm told, and the palace have been able to shut them down. So I think the belief is that they can shut these scandals down, and it's only when the scandals emerge that they have to put Plan B into practice. So, and I think if that's the case, then that could be very damaging.
From early on, some say Meghan carefully mapped out her exit from royal life, not as a spur-of-the-moment move, but as part of a bigger plan to secure the spotlight she'd always dreamed of. Hollywood was always calling. But before her royal chapter, she wasn't exactly in the top tier of stardom. She had a role on Suits, a show that didn't have huge traction in the US, though it gained loyal fans abroad. Still, this wasn't random ambition, it was next-level networking. She was positioning herself with precision, forming bonds most people never even get close to. And yet, until now, hardly anyone in the public conversation mentioned these quiet ties or who she was spending time with back then. The timing of this leak has made the internet buzz like crazy. Meghan is currently pushing a polished image through her lifestyle brand and Netflix projects, and suddenly this material pops up out of nowhere, stirring all kinds of theories and questions. The question lighting up every comment section right now is wild.
Really bad security. This is all in a desperate bid for headlines and for Harry to say, oh, see, we need security even in the US. This is disgusting. They should be investigated.
Yes, sir.
I mean, it's incredible how desperate Meghan Markle is to be compared to Princess Diana in a desperate bid to chase headlines.
Who actually leaked these photos? And the next question everyone's whispering about is even bigger. What else could still be out there waiting to drop? According to some insiders, there have been plenty of behind-the-scenes stories that never saw the light of day because the palace reportedly managed to keep them under wraps. The belief is that they usually find a way to control the narrative until something unexpected slips through the cracks. When that happens, it's like a plan B gets activated fast. And if that's really what's going on here, then this situation could cause major waves for everyone involved. People close to the matter claim if this much has surfaced, there's probably more hidden away. More photos, more proof, maybe even more untold details that have been kept out of the public eye. As soon as the photos hit social media, the reaction was instant and massive. This wasn't the old same talk about her past social circles or past events people had moved on from. This was something completely new. High-quality material from private archives that someone apparently held on to for years before finally deciding to post it online. Once that button was pressed, there was no undoing it. The photos reportedly show Meghan during her pre-royal days in Monaco and other Mediterranean hotspots, surrounded by luxury yachts, glittering fashion, and lavish parties that looked straight out of a movie scene. The vibe was pure exclusivity. Designer looks, elegant settings, and familiar faces from the world of global business quietly appearing in the background. Within just a few hours, social media lost its mind.
Her father was giving her money and car, and helping her get auditions. And I mean, what do you think? I mean, does it really just the money, or do you think it's fame?
Well, I mean, it's both, because if you think about it, you're not making that much on Deal or No Deal, right? But it was a national television show. It was on NBC. It was a network. You're there.
A brand new hashtag shot straight to the top of trending lists, while TikTok creators jumped in, breaking down every frame of the images like detectives on a mission. One online user even commented, "Show me any other royals who've had photos like this." The energy was electric, the conversations non-stop, and it's clear this storm is nowhere near over. What? The internet started buzzing fast. People began pointing out how Meghan's photos looked heavily edited, and when fans called it out, she reportedly wasn't too happy about it. Then things got even crazier as Twitter users started connecting the dots like wildfire. These new pictures spread at record speed because they showed a side of Meghan's world that's rarely talked about openly. Unlike the old grainy or unclear shots from years ago, these images looked crisp and detailed. People could see the exact places, recognize faces, and even identify which events she was at. Suddenly, the whole conversation shifted. It wasn't about random guesses anymore. It was about real questions that demanded answers. Everyone wanted to know, how did a small-time actress end up in circles this exclusive? Who helped her get access to such high-level spaces? And why was all of this kept quiet for so long? Sources linked to powerful international networks claimed these photos basically confirmed what insiders have been hinting at for years. According to one of them, Markle was around 35 when she joined the royal family. She already had a full life. She'd worked as an actress, she'd been married before, so she wasn't new to how things worked. The insider continued, explaining that once she entered that royal system, things changed fast. It's like they tried to control her, saying, "You will do this, you won't do that, you can't go here."
Markle, I think she was 35 or 30 when she came into the royal family. She'd had a life, she was an actress, she'd been married before, so she was pretty much clued up. And I think what's happened is she's come into the royal family and this archaic system has tried to control her and say, you will do this, you will do that, you will not.
But these photos paint a very different story. Meghan wasn't just attending yacht gatherings for fun or luxury. She was clearly part of an elite social network that revolved around power, access, and image at the highest levels of influence worldwide. One person who's actually operated within those high society circles put it plainly. She knew exactly where to be and who to be around. It wasn't random at all. It was a deliberate climb through social layers most people never even get close to. These circles aren't your average social hangouts. They're built on power connections, polished appearances, high security travel, and absolute privacy about who you meet and why. Every move has a reason. This isn't small talk or casual mingling. It's elite-level networking, where every handshake could open a new door and every introduction has a purpose. During Meghan's early acting years, sources say she fit right into this scene, ambitious, determined, and somehow showing up in high-end international spaces that seemed far beyond what her career or earnings could explain at the time. People familiar with those circles insist that kind of access never happens by pure luck. There's always a system. Introductions are arranged, doors are opened, and someone within that network decides if you're valuable enough to include. Insiders strongly believe Meghan didn't land there by coincidence. It was all part of something much more calculated. But here's the detail that most major outlets aren't talking about.
I like to think that Meghan would like that. Meghan likes to be number one. Meghan does not simply degrade Prince Harry. She degrades his entire family, his entire legacy. And this is a different kind of embarrassment. She has mocked his heritage, his traditions, his grandmother, the former Queen of England, and it seems like she did so.
These newly leaked yacht photos reportedly didn't come from random fans or paparazzi. One source claimed she was nervous about returning to the UK, and honestly, who could blame her? Some people there still think she took the prince away and changed his life completely, that she pulled him fully into California living. But the real shocker, multiple insiders allege that the photos came from inside those elite circles, from someone who actually had first-hand access, personal insight, and possibly records of Meghan's social connections during those years. If that turns out to be true, it changes the entire conversation. It would mean this wasn't an outsider's lucky find. It was an insider move, a calculated reveal by someone who knew exactly what they were doing and when to do it. The fact that one insider chose to leak these photos has everyone wondering, what else could they be holding on to? Are there more pictures, messages, or behind-the-scenes details about how Meghan carefully built her road to power and opportunity? The curiosity is intense. Reports claim these photos place Meghan at private events where influential Saudi and Gulf region figures were also present, and it doesn't look like a random coincidence. These weren't public parties or open events anyone could attend. It was the same luxury yachts, the same high-end hosts, the same long-standing private circles that have quietly connected some of the most powerful people in the world for decades. These gatherings are known to be tightly organized. You don't just stumble into them. Getting access takes introductions, credibility, and the approval of those already inside.
That on her own, show me royals who have this kind of photo. What? See, the thing is, Meghan, if you need to Photoshop pictures, but then you get mad at your haters because we're calling out your Photoshopped picture.
You have to be vouched for, and that only happens when someone powerful decides you're worth bringing in. What really grabs attention in these photos is how comfortable Meghan seems in those spaces. She's not looking lost or unsure. She appears completely at ease, like someone who understands the etiquette, the dynamics, and the unspoken rules of that world. That kind of confidence doesn't come from coincidence. It comes from knowing how those environments work. According to several insiders, during those years often referred to as her yacht networking phase, Meghan reportedly formed ongoing professional and social ties with individuals connected to elite Gulf circles. This wasn't about a single event or chance meeting. It allegedly involved multiple visits, return invitations, and a consistent presence at private functions where discretion was everything. That kind of consistency doesn't just happen. It points to real planning and coordination. Some critics online have even called the situation a complete security failure, arguing that it's all part of a bigger attempt to grab headlines and highlight safety concerns for Meghan and Harry in the US. Others say it's blown way out of proportion, but either way, it stirred a major debate. It's no secret that Meghan has often been compared to Princess Diana, and some observers think she leans into that image a little too much, trying to shape her own story around that legacy. One commentator even said, "It's wild how much effort she's putting into maintaining that comparison." There's also been talk about her early Hollywood grind, how her father reportedly helped her out financially and supported her with transportation and auditions.
Do you go from here? What do you become after this? You get the picture. Now, this is the reason why many people understand the marriage, shall we say, has hit one of those.
While she was trying to make it, people have been asking, was her drive really just about money, or was it more about fame and recognition? Many think it's both. After all, her appearance on Deal or No Deal might not have been a massive payday, but it was still a national TV gig on a major network, something that gave her visibility and credibility at the time. Now, when you line up the timeline, things get even more interesting. These photos are said to date from 2008 to 2012, right when Meghan was still working to find her big break in Los Angeles. Yet there she is, appearing at luxurious events in Monaco and other Mediterranean spots, surrounded by high-level business figures, influential people, and elite guests from Gulf and Saudi circles who kept showing up at the same exclusive locations. It's the consistency that's catching everyone's attention. The same settings, the same connections, the same facilitators linking international business and influence networks. Then, in 2011, Meghan landed her breakout role on Suits, a major step that seemed to skip the usual long, difficult Hollywood climb. Industry insiders have quietly whispered for years that the connections behind that casting were never fully clear, and now these resurfaced photos have reignited those old questions louder than ever. The suggestion is that this wasn't random good fortune. It may have come from years of careful, behind-the-scenes relationship building with people who had real power to make things happen. The kind of people who could make a call, open a door, or move an opportunity into place without anyone ever seeing it happen. Fast forward to 2016, when Meghan met Prince Harry through Marcus Anderson and the Soho House network. Suddenly, the pieces start fitting together perfectly. By that time, she'd already spent close to a decade moving in elite circles, learning how influence works and mastering the art of image and connection. This wasn't about being lucky. It looked like the result of years of calculated preparation. The newly leaked photos make that even more obvious. They show Meghan not just casually hanging out at parties, but consistently appearing across several years on multiple luxury yachts, always surrounded by the same caliber of international guests, big-name personalities, and influential figures from around the world. That's not coincidence, that's a pattern. And when you see a pattern that steady, it points straight to strategy, not chance. And here's the part that's making the internet explode. These images didn't leak by accident. Whoever released them clearly waited for the perfect moment. Right now, as Meghan is rolling out her lifestyle brand, promoting her polished public image, and producing new content for her streaming projects, it's as if someone was waiting until she believed those years were fully behind her, that no new material, no fresh proof, and no reminders from her past could ever come back to light. Then, suddenly, boom! Out of nowhere, brand new photos that no one had ever seen before hit the internet, and the timing alone spoke volumes. The drop wasn't random, It felt intentional, like someone was sending a quiet but powerful message. Within hours, the entire online space was flooded with speculation as these new yacht images of Meghan Markle started spreading like wildfire. This didn't look like chaos by coincidence. It felt planned, like calculated warning shots. Almost as if someone was silently saying, "We know more than you think." And the most fascinating part, they didn't need to say a word to get that point across. Every frame looked purposeful. Every backdrop hinted that someone with deep ties to those elite international networks had finally had enough of Meghan's version of the story. Maybe it's someone she crossed paths with in those exclusive circles who didn't like how things unfolded. Maybe it's someone trying to shield powerful names from getting caught in the drama. Or maybe, just maybe, it's someone who believes the truth should come before any carefully curated image. Whatever the motive is, the precision behind these leaks screams one thing: planning. Dropping never-before-seen yacht photos in January 2026, years after Meghan had moved on from that world, doesn't look accidental at all. It suggests that someone sat on this material for a long time, waiting for the perfect moment to hit upload when the effect would be explosive. The images make one reality impossible to ignore. Meghan worked hard to keep her early networking years far from the spotlight. She dodged the topic, avoided tough questions, and redirected conversations whenever those chapters came up. One commentator even remarked, "Meghan likes being at the top. She always wants to be number one." They went on to claim that when things don't go her way, it doesn't just create tension with Prince Harry, it puts strain on the entire family dynamic and the public image surrounding it. This time, the situation brings a completely different kind of embarrassment, one that hits much deeper than usual. Critics say Meghan has shown open disregard for certain royal customs and traditions, including moments tied to the legacy of the late Queen. And for many, that's what makes this whole scandal sting even more. Meghan, after all, is a trained actress, someone skilled at reading people, studying their behavior, and adapting fast. While some say her acting career wasn't exactly A-list, others admit she's always had sharp instincts when it comes to understanding how people perceive her. That's part of what makes her such a complex figure. She knows how to control an image. There's also constant talk about how deeply she studied the late Princess Diana, her gestures, her mannerisms, even how she connected emotionally with people. Many observers believe Meghan has used that knowledge to shape her own public persona and influence the way audiences see her relationship with Prince Harry. Over the years, critics claim she's managed to deflect any criticism as framing it as jealousy or as unfair attacks from people who never supported her to begin with. But now, the recently surfaced private photos seem to paint a different picture, one that matches what insiders have been quietly saying for years. These images don't rely on rumor. They appear to document where she was and who she was with, lining up closely with the accounts that have been circulating behind closed doors. And what's Meghan's response so far? Total silence. No public statement, no clarification, no attempt to explain what the photos show. Nothing. Just complete quiet while the images continue to spread across every major platform. But that silence is speaking loudly. It's being read as a sign that she's hoping the storm will blow over, that the noise will die down, and people will eventually stop digging into how someone once described as a struggling actress managed to live with that level of luxury and connect so deeply with such powerful circles. If these photos were simple or easy to explain, her team would have already jumped in to clear things up, offering context, naming who invited her, or explaining why it was all just part of normal professional networking. But instead, nothing. Total silence. And that silence is loud. It tells the public one clear message. These yacht photos raise questions that Meghan definitely doesn't want to address in front of cameras. So let's break down what's actually sitting in plain sight. These brand new images that surfaced in January 2026 appear to show Meghan socializing and networking with influential international figures during the very years she was still trying to make it as an actress. That alone has everyone talking, because the lifestyle shown in those pictures doesn't exactly match what people believed about her career back then. First big question: who funded this kind of lifestyle? An actress working on cable TV usually isn't casually attending exclusive Mediterranean yacht events surrounded by global business leaders. Someone had to be covering travel, logistics, and access. So who made that possible? Second question: how did she even get in? You don't just walk into private gatherings where royalty, billionaires, and international decision-makers are mingling. Entry like that takes introductions, and introductions come with trust and reputation. Someone had to vouch for her, to open those doors and say, she belongs here. Who was that person or group? Third question: what kind of networking was happening? The photos don't show large public events or red carpets. They show intimate, closed-off environments, private yachts, quiet decks, small circles of high-level attendees. These weren't casual social scenes. They looked like serious business and influence-building moments, where every conversation carried weight, and that's exactly why people can't stop talking. The lack of explanation, no statement, no denial, no clarification, only makes the situation seem even more mysterious. So just how deep did those connections really go? That's the question everyone keeps circling back to. Fourth question: how much did those early relationships shape her rise? From being a lesser-known actress to landing Suits and later crossing paths with Prince Harry through the Soho House network, her climb seems tightly linked to those elite introductions. Who exactly helped her move through those spaces, and how much power did those connections hold behind the scenes? Fifth question, the one everyone's whispering about: who leaked these photos, and why now? These images were kept completely private for over a decade, and then, out of nowhere, in January 2026, they hit the internet all at once. That kind of timing doesn't look random. It feels planned, deliberate, and intentional. Someone clearly decided this was the moment to bring that part of her past back into the public eye. And what's adding even more fuel to the conversation is her silence. Every day without a response just makes the mystery grow. These aren't baseless rumors, they're genuine questions sparked by real material that people can actually see. The timing couldn't be more striking either. Right now, Meghan is in the middle of a major public rebrand, with Netflix projects, new lifestyle ventures, and a global image built around being authentic, relatable, and inspiring. And then, suddenly, boom, these photos drop, showing her side by side with powerful figures from international networks in settings that look anything but ordinary. The images suggest access, strategy, and influence, things that haven't been part of her public story before. It's not that networking is wrong. Everyone knows relationships can help careers. But what's causing a stir is the contrast, the difference between the image of someone who built everything alone and the reality of someone who might have had significant doors opened for her along the way. Strategic networking within high-end international circles during her so-called yacht years paints a very different picture, one that doesn't quite fit the self-made image she's promoted over the years. These newly released photos complicate her story, showing that the climb may not have been built on pure luck or hard work alone, but also on quiet connections in exclusive environments few ever gain access to. What's even more striking is that these leaks prove something major. People have been holding on to this material for years. They waited patiently, biding their time, choosing the exact moment when releasing it would make the biggest impact possible. It's as if Meghan's public image was always hanging by a thread, just one leak away from major public questioning. Each new photo that surfaces opens up a chapter she never really spoke about, and once it's out there, it can't be erased. The past doesn't disappear, it just comes back louder. Then comes the international angle, the part that's getting everyone's attention. Figures tied to Middle Eastern and Gulf region circles are known for keeping their private lives extremely discreet. What happens on those luxury yachts usually stays there. That's been an unspoken rule for years. So, if new images from that world are suddenly appearing online, it means something has definitely shifted. It could be that the protection around that part of her history has faded, or that her public messaging started clashing with what certain insiders already knew behind closed doors. Maybe the ongoing family tensions made her past harder to keep under wraps, or maybe, with how public and polarizing she's become, maintaining that level of secrecy just wasn't possible anymore. Whatever the reason may be, if insiders are now allowing these yacht photos and private details to come to light, it means Meghan has lost a key layer of protection, one that kept this entire chapter of her past sealed away for years. And that's a serious shift, because once that wall cracks, it's hard to rebuild. So now the question hanging in the air is, what comes next? Are there more photos out there? More files? Could there be travel logs, private invitations, or messages that show how those connections were built? Many people close to the situation believe that these yacht photos are only the beginning, the first move in a much bigger reveal. Whoever released them likely has more material waiting, possibly including additional images, event details, and even personal accounts from those who witnessed her networking style firsthand. At this point, Meghan's choices are tough. She can stay silent and watch the speculation keep building, or she can speak out and face even deeper questioning. Either path brings massive pressure. Her ongoing rebrand, with her lifestyle projects, public image, and media partnerships, is suddenly facing friction because these leaks directly clash with the narrative she's been presenting about her journey and independence. The fresh evidence shows there's a whole chapter of behind-the-scenes networking that she's never addressed publicly, and now that it's out there, people are examining her story from every angle, and not all of them flattering. Will more evidence come out, or does it end here? Because these yacht photos have already cracked open a door Meghan probably hoped would stay locked forever. Brand new, high-quality images from private collections dropped in January 2026, reportedly shared by someone who knows far more than they're saying, someone no longer willing to keep quiet. This source appears ready to show what Meghan's so-called yacht networking years with international elites really looked like, not through gossip or rumor, but through images that speak for themselves. And Meghan's reaction so far? Still total silence. No context, no explanation, no statement offering her side of the story. Just quiet. And that silence doesn't come across as confidence. It feels more like she's trying to wait for the storm to pass rather than addressing it head-on. People online are noticing that silence and reading it as uncertainty. If everything was harmless or easily explained, why not clear the air? The longer this goes unaddressed, the more curious people get, and the faster the speculation spreads. The photos are now circulating everywhere, with experts, fans, and critics dissecting every detail frame by frame. The big question remains, is this the end of what's coming out, or just the beginning? If you've got thoughts on this wild situation, drop them below. What do you think these leaks really mean? And if this breakdown opened your eyes to a different side of the story, make sure to hit that subscribe button and stay tuned, because we've got more deep dives like this coming soon. Don't forget to like the video and share it with someone who's following this story closely.